What's good, guys? It's King Giuliano here. You're watching the Ramblerz podcast.
For some reason.
Alright, guys, welcome to the Ramblerz podcast. It's King Giuliano here.
Guys, Shalomi the homie. Nice to see you guys again.
What's up, guys? Today marks 1 year, man, since we first started this podcast. Crazy stuff.
It's kind of crazy because, like, I remember the same exact like day, I guess you could say, where I literally just like hit up Giuliano here. I was just like, yo, if you want to make this podcast, I need to come to your house right now. Just trying to convince him, like, you know, we need to start this off. And so I pulled up. We made the email. Then we made Instagram. Then the next day, we made a YouTube video.
Yeah, and then that's basically how it happened. And I can't even believe like it's already been a year because like the podcast is something that has been in our minds, at least in my mind, probably for about like 2 years. You know, we talked about doing it because we started off just going live on Instagram all the time. We still do that all the time, but then kind of manifested into something. Eventually, you know, finally last year, that's when you finally kind of convinced me, and we got together and we're like, yo, let's just do this. You know? We sat down, we followed a bunch of people through the Instagram page, you know.
So when we made the Instagram, I had my notebook at the time. I still use it, not every day, but like I literally just wrote in that notebook like people to follow and then just like things we need to do. And so I jotted that down, followed everybody, and then a person that I had in mind, or a person that was like asking for our help, we're gonna shout out right now. Shout out to Raymond 408.
Raymond Hernandez,
he
408.
He used to work with us. We worked at Safeway, and so we had our first couple of videos actually. We recorded at his place, and so we wanted to thank you for helping us out with the podcast, because you kind of like I guess you could say kickstarted us.
Yeah, you both did.
I did a horrible job. He did a better job. I'm like,
I did a terrible
That's
job
how
too.
we all met. We haven't even explained that. We all met at Safeway. Well, I mean, not you guys, but did you guys meet at Safeway, or did you guys meet before that?
We met at Safeway too.
I met him at Safeway.
So we all met at Safeway.
Yeah.
We work at the same store. This is how this is all. Safeway brought this together.
Safeway
Safeway
really
is
brought
the result of
This relationship.
No, he definitely kickstarted us, and you know, Raymond's a good guy, really humble dude. I'm thankful that, you know, he let us just come to his house and honestly just let us use his webcam. And you know, we didn't unfortunately we didn't get to do that many podcasts afterwards, but he did kickstart us, you know what I mean? So I appreciate his support, and I appreciate him for being a good friend. Shout out to Raymond, man. If you guys scroll through on our IG, go all the way down, you can find like an Instagram video with him in there.
Yeah, you can actually find the Instagram video right there with like of us trying to like still kind of like, I guess you could say both of us are we're not really camera shy, but you could tell like overall the overall how it felt was kind of like a little
you
bit
can tell
like,
the vibe's a little bit different than it is right now.
Yeah, because
right now I'd say we came a long way, you know, a lot more natural now, and you know, it's been a year, June 2020 right now, and I would say, you know, we're still working towards what we want to get to.
Yeah, we're still working on at overall being consistent, because of course we kind of said in the past, yo, just coming out. It's good. It's going to come out, but it's just a matter of like us having to roll the ball again. And so this is why we wanted to make the video in the first place, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like we definitely want to just try to get more content out there, and we have actually some content. Car going by. We actually have some content like on the way for you guys. You know, for the Black Lives Matter protests that have been going on. Rest in peace to George Floyd. And as well as that, also we have an interview coming up with our boy G. Shout out to Suspect from Goon Times. His EP dropped.
Wine Drunk dropped. If you haven't heard it yet, definitely give that a listen. Support our boy G, who's actually in our podcast for the Goon Times. And you know, all the Goon Time boys were there. Arius, Riku, and G, Suspect.
Like,
bro.
So like,
It was hella dead last night where we were at, bro. It was dope.
Yeah,
I don't like it when I like it sometimes, like for some.
You guys give me a triple mocha frap if you guys do.
I'll take a green matcha.
Yo, vanilla bean, vente.
Starbucks.
Boy. But yeah, we actually have some stuff coming out, and you know, we're just trying to be consistent. You know, 2020 was kind of a strange year.
It was a really strange year for us, and I guess you could say the world,
For the entire world.
as we know it.
It ain't just us, you know what I mean? It's everybody, you know. Everybody's kind of had delays here and there, and I think from personal, you know, experience, I think I definitely could have been more consistent, but it did take a toll on us, you know.
Yeah, it was like it's a two-way street. That's what I keep telling this guy. You know, sometimes he was doing most of the work, or sometimes like I was doing like most of the work.
Yeah, so
but
it was kind of go back and retrade kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of trading, and so you know that's why we kind of like sometimes we kind of like you know, we're discussing amongst ourselves about like.
And
when
this
we
is
do.
just us being honest to you guys. You know what I'm saying? We're still young. We're still really figuring out the formula behind this podcast. I think we're a lot better than how we felt about it when it was posted a year ago.
It was so new. It was like
it
so
was still
new.
so new. We're still figuring it out. I mean, we're still figuring it out to this day.
It's like when you start something new, of course you can have an idea of like what you want to do, and then like the planning it out. But overall, like you're just got there's still those times where it's like, oh, like you know what, like how are we gonna do this, and like how is it gonna come out? But the way we see, I think the way we see it is just kind of like you have to execute it, you know.
It's execution. It's about getting. It's about getting down to the nitty gritty and like calling each other and being like, yo, like we're actually gonna do this. You know what I mean? We're not just gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many ideas, but besides that, you know, like we went into 2019. You know, we really started this podcast. You know, this is kind of like you'd say like middle of the year sort of. Over the summer, we did some podcasts, and then we had trouble getting equipment. And
hey guys, it's the Ramblers, and we're just testing out some new equipment we got. We recently got a new tripod from Best Buy.
And then we kind of went through that, and then all of a sudden 2020 came, and I was like, yo, we're gonna go hard in 2020. And then the freaking pandemic hit. I was super sick. You know, I spoke about that to you guys many times. And that kind of messed everything up because, you know, we had to go into quarantine, social distancing.
Yeah.
Not that it's an excuse, but we work a lot better when we're in person.
For us, it's like mostly like we have to be in person.
Yeah. Like just right now, like our creative juices just start flowing. You know what I mean?
You know, like of course Zoom. We did like a couple of them.
Yeah.
They were pretty good. But just I guess you could say it wasn't the same. But even if it wasn't the same, we I guess you could say we could have been more consistent with that.
Yes, exactly.
But at the end of the day, we appreciate you guys for watching the videos. And if you haven't, it's all good. You know, you guys support us, whether you follow the Instagram or you like our videos. So it's all good.
Any amount of support you guys can give is greatly appreciated. You know, I appreciate everybody that's on here. I know a lot of our followers are mostly local people for now. But I know I'm really confident that if we just keep striving with this whole thing, I know we'll eventually like get to like a bigger place where we want to be. And I'm really thankful for where we are right now. I'm thankful for all the random people that are subscribed, all my friends that I've met wherever, you know, at some point in my life. Thank you guys. I appreciate all you guys for sharing it on your Instagram stories or subscribing to the YouTube. Like literally anything helps, you know, and it goes a long way, you know.
Yeah, and you know, like. When it comes to, you know, for me, it's the same here as him, but, you know, thank you to all, like, my family members, my friends, or just people that I met, like, you know, at least one time.
Your Peruvian homies.
My Peruvian homies, Puerto Rican homies, and, you know, just shout out to everybody, basically. And, you know, we'll be definitely getting more content out there sooner than expected. We're kind of more motivated than ever, kind of, to, like, finally release stuff.
Yeah, because right now, you know, in our state, we're actually, you know, the social distancing still here, but shelter in place has been a little lessened. You know, it's a little more loose, so it's a little, I don't want to say safe necessarily, but like we're able to hang out with each other as long as we're not doing anything too crazy and we're staying clean. So like, it's good. You know, we're more motivated now because we got that creative juice and we got time on our hands. You know, so we're still trying to figure out a schedule for how we want to do this. But, you know, obviously, you know, there's things that have gotten in the way. Like, you know, I work, I go to school and everything, not as an excuse, but we're still going through that formula. You know, we're still going through that process, but we're really determined to just get stuff out there.
We're really determined, and, you know, we will, as I said, we will get stuff out there for you guys, content, and it's coming on the way. Definitely, you know, as I said, the Black Lives Matter movement episode's going to come out pretty soon.
Yes.
We have a interview that's coming up with Suspect. We're going to have to shoot. But it's in the process of it.
Yeah, it's in the process of scheduling. It's a matter of getting everybody together. But yeah, we thank you guys, man. You know, it's just crazy to look at where we were a year ago.
Yeah, it's crazy to look at. Like this guy had a buzz cut.
I got a buzz cut. And
I had really short.
You didn't have a buzz cut yet, but then you got a buzz cut like a month later.
And so, you know, right now I guess you could say we're growing out our hair. And
for the most part.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, like as we were saying, you know, it's finally cool to like have this like be reality, like have like us like just have a platform, whether it's us just for us to talk or have people that we've had on the past, such as like Bust Down Buddha.
Shout out Ramblers Podcast, dopest podcast in my opinion, everyone's opinion. Y'all, shout out to them for pulling up. You already know, R&B gang, and let's get turned.
You know, Richie Sevens. Shout out to the boy Richie Sevens.
I wouldn't say like I'm heading for like a primary sound. But
Yeah. Are you trying to be like versatile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him because I was like, "Are you trying to be versatile?" And Sean was like, "Yeah."
New music on the way, I'm pretty sure. And just as I said, you know, Goon Times. Those are like our, I think the people that we had. Even Marshall Woodmansey. Shout out to Marshall Woodmansey.
But now that I feel like, you've got a podcast that you've been running for, half a year. Shalom. Cameron got his business degree. You see that Twitter post? All right, we'll tell you that later.
Who ran for city council, one of the youngest people to running that.
Shout out to him,
and,
man, making a change in his community.
Yeah, making a change, and even if he wasn't elected, like or in there, he was still on the ballot. He goes to show that like the youth can have a voice,
Oh, definitely,
and
man.
they could do whatever they want. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here, man. We're really just trying to have a voice and spread positivity, spread a message, spread what we believe in, or anything. Just open conversations to anything. So I appreciate you guys. If you're watching, if you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends. You know what I mean? Anyone from San Jose, we're local, from the city.
Yeah, and shout out to some other podcasts out there like the Low Key Facts,
podcast.
BQ. Shout out to BQ.
Anyone else who's really doing it out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and San Jose Foos. We see you documenting everything in that San Jose and just in our area, whether it's the protests or just what's going on. We
Shout
appreciate
out to them, yeah. Yeah, man. That's pretty much all I got to say. I'm thinking maybe after this we could put some funny clips from the podcast.
Yeah.
A little compilation. Maybe, depending on the situation.
And
we gotta get to the editing.
We've had a lot of interviews like we've recorded, whether it's an unreleased Fanlord one we did, or just I guess you could say some of our first times, and we have to find that footage. But yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just to wrap it up, I just want to be more consistent. It has been a strange year. It's been a very strange time for everybody, for us, for anyone that really makes content. We're dealing with injustices. We're dealing with coronavirus, and it's very strange. I'm really debating in my head like what these next 10 years are really going to be like. I think we're going to see a lot of crazy things happen, but we got each other at the end of the day.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, throughout all this is like that's going on. Like we have each other. Whether it's everybody using their voice for the protests or whatever, at the end of the day, we all gotta love each other.
Yeah, and, most definitely. Spread love, don't spread hate. You can't fight hate with hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could, but
it ain't gonna get anywhere.
It's not gonna get anywhere. You know
what I mean? We're not gonna have that much of a radical change if we fight hate with hate. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's all I really gotta say. Thank you guys for supporting. It's been 1 year. 2020, baby.
It's been 1 year.
No more buzz cut. Never doing that again.
Never, maybe.
It depends on the circumstance.
Depends on the circumstances, but
I'm trying to look like Daddy Yankee again.
I'm not trying to look like a rat, dude. So, but yeah. Anything else to say?
Nah, I'm pretty much good.
Yeah, and I think the only one thing I gotta say is if you have like an idea like we did, and execute it.
Execute it.
And I just throughout like everybody that we've always like looked up to, X. From Tyler the Creator.
RIP X too, man.
RIP X.
We did a podcast on him last year, and I actually shared it a lot on the Instagram, but go check it out if you guys haven't. It was one of our first uploaded podcasts.
That was the second podcast we recorded, but it was posted as our first.
Yeah, it was posted as our first.
We looked up to him, and that's kind of why we this guy was being more pushed by it too, because for me, I wanted to do it, but I guess you could say when it comes to starting stuff, you want to have someone else there that has similar interests,
Right.
But for X, he just wanted to have everyone do their follow their dream.
Yeah, like for me,
or just passion wise.
He really pushed me to like I don't know, kind of just do whatever I want to do without people judging you. Like he had that mentality because you think about him as a person. Like I'll just speak on it real quick in his career. And, he had so many people hating on him, bringing him down, understandably so because of all the controversy. But he just kept pursuing, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can't let what other people think stop you. You're your own God at the end of the day. You're your own prize. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality you got to have. So it's you just got to keep rolling with that and not really care what other people think. As long as you try and treat people, you treat others like how you want to be treated, like a good person, you'll be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, just in general, just even trying to better yourself, that goes a long way too,
Oh, most definitely.
And so
yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Rest in peace, X, man. It's been a year. So
been a year.
That's crazy.
Been a year of the podcast.
Year of the podcast.
Definitely leave comments. Leave wherever you see the sound, YouTube or just on the IG. We appreciate it again.
Yeah, we love you guys. Take care.
Take care. Like Drake.
God's plan.
I don't.
Wrong song, never mind. Now I'm saying.
But yeah, anyways, go like this. Liz. No, actually, whatever. Just like.
Get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it! Let's get it! Let's get it! Let's get it! Let's get it!
All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Ramblerz podcast, the third
Episode 3.
Episode 3, finally here. It's King Giuliano, your boy Julian.
My name's Shalom, or you can call me shit.
Oh, bro. It happened. I'm good now.
Hey guys, the Ramblers podcast, and my name's Shalomi the homie. We have a guest on right now. Wait, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, honestly.
Alright,
What the fuck?
Alright, so.
Hey, we'll get you on again next time, though.
What are we doing?
We'll just do like the one take thing.
What? Wait, you recording? Wait, what? Taking a picture, right?
It is recording and it will not stop recording.
Yeah, your phone's broken.
One would be a bigger one on the side, and then it would be Shalom's group.
Yeah.
Which would be a
Kinda
cool little
collab
5 people.
It was like,
Which was cool because they were like, I guess you could say Shalom's group was like the quote unquote like geeks or whatever. And
Really?
then I guess so. Because if you were to look at the other group, that would be the jocks.
I get it's a job. I understand it. I understand that completely.
I mean, Marcel's
But
doing an
how
important job
the
now.
fuck does he just rail girls all day and night? And he's got a girlfriend. If my girlfriend was doing adult film